Hello, it has been a second since I've been live, and I wanted to jump on here real quick to talk a little bit about doubt. Like, why the heck am I talking about it so much? And I've really gotten with a lot of my one-on-one clients that is the number one thing that stops them from choosing the next thing or creating the reality, the life, and the business that they desire. So let's break down doubt just a little bit, because I sense that people really go a little bit unconscious with it. They go into like, I don't know. I don't know what to choose. And energetically, if you just look at that, when someone says, I don't know, we back off from the energy. We back off from being present. So why do we do this? Like, why do we do all this doubt so dynamically? I get it's a lot of different things, right? There's this reality which kind of like primes us to seek outside of ourselves for answers. We go to school, we learn things in textbooks, like everything teaches us to look outside of ourselves to teach us the right answer, right? So we have kind of all that. We're then also taught to like look to experts for things, and we're not encouraged to tune inward, right? It's pretty rare to reconfirm, what do you know? What are you aware of? So that's kind of not a conversation. So it's not even in our reality, first of all. Then throw in some trauma and we really start to lose self-trust. So think about, I'm using the word trauma pretty broadly, but trauma being this really unexpected event that creates a lot of nervous system dysregulation. And then we're in some really serious self-trust and doubting our reality, right? It's like I'm doubting my reality to be safe, to be seen, to be heard, right? And so we go into kind of like this cocoon, right? So it's the reality, it's trauma, it's just all these things. So we really are primed to doubt ourselves and to just not have the trust. And so how do we build it? How do we rebuild it? When I first start working with clients, and I'll ask them questions, well, what are you aware of? What will create greater for you? The questions are really confronting because they're really open-ended, they're abstract, and the first thing that people go to is wanting to get the right answer, because that's what we're taught in this reality. Get the right answer. And so it's very quickly I'll see them back off and go into, I don't know. I don't really know. And kind of contract. And this is where it's kind of fun in the beginning, because I'll say, okay, well, if you did know, what would it be? Just come from the presupposition that you did know. What would that create? Because if you come from that idea where you're already presupposing that you do know, even if you're hiding it from yourself, even if it's unconscious, then there's a possibility that it can come to you. But if you've already decided, I don't know, then you are right, and you will hide it from yourself. And so when we're looking at reframing this and kind of getting out of the I don't know coping mechanism, it's a little scary. It's confronting, because oftentimes a lot of energy will come up when the person is finally present. This we had in our, I'm trying to remember, one of our recent Courage to Choose calls. That's like one of my memberships for mental wellness, mindset, and all that business. And we had a live Q&A call. And one of the participants kind of went into a little I don't know. And I reframed it for them and kind of asked them a question. Well, what do you know? Because you've been with me for a second. So what do you know? What are you hiding from yourself? And all of a sudden I could see energetically it shifted for her. She got present with the energy and almost was a little teary. Wow, I do know. I'm just refusing to choose something. And I was like, that. It's that. We are so scared to get it wrong. If something isn't working out in your life, look at the judgment with it. What's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. we go dynamically into avoiding being wrong. I don't want to be wrong. I just want to get it right. So what if doubt was actually just a coping mechanism to protect ourselves from being wrong? That the I don't knows were a coping mechanism. What if you did know? Would you allow yourself to be that powerful? To know the exact next steps for you? And this is where I get that this conversation really isn't often said, and especially in the business arena, of trusting what you know. Because that's what's going to create the magic. That's what creates something interesting. Not just copying what someone else has chosen. And so it really is a skill to start to learn to trust you. To listen to what you know. Right? Because it's so easy for us to go into the oh, it's not good enough. I won't be right. What will other people think? I don't know. What if you, from today forward, no longer allowed yourself to say, I don't know? Or just catch it. Let's go back even further. Just catch it. Oh, I don't know what's coming out of my mouth. There it goes. Okay, if I did know, what would it be? Right? So we don't want to go into judgment about it and make ourselves, she said, don't say I don't know, and there I go. I'm not saying that. Observe, wow, where am I refusing to choose something here? Where am I refusing to be something here? Right? And I use that verbiage very intentionally because, again, it's presupposing that you could choose something else. Not from right or wrong, not that you're doing it badly, just you have other choices. Cool. What will that create if I choose it? This is a big conversation, I'm telling you. So doubt is like a whole thing. And if you can come to a place where you no longer say, I don't know, where you can trust you, then you fly. What is the thing you are desiring to put out into the world? What is the business you're wanting to create? Let's even step back further. What's the boundary you want to set? Maybe in life, in your business, whatever. But you go into not trusting you and doubting you. And what if you were no longer at the effect of the doubt? That you could observe it when it was happening and choose something else. That's the energy I want to play in. That's the world I want to be in. And so whenever I come up with these master classes or programs or whatnot, I'm frequently following the energy of what's being pinged in my world of clients and what's going on for folks with right where they're at. And I do have a lot of new early entrepreneurs that are just doing doubt really dynamically of, well, what do I choose? And do I put out this offer? And again, it is a lot of the unwillingness to be wrong. And so this is where we're also going to talk a lot about receiving in the Doubt Masterclass, because we have to be in a place where we can receive judgments, points of view of other people thinking that we're wrong, right? Because it's that's what stops us. It's always the judgment. And judgment is contractive. It's not expansive. And so if you're desiring to create more space in your world, more consciousness, then you're not going to want to function from judgment. And that is really tough to unlearn. Let me tell you, it's tough to unlearn, and you're aware. You're really aware when other people are doing it, so then it feels like you're doing it, but you're not. You're just aware, and it's the whole thing. These are conversations we have in my world. So we have the Doubt Masterclass. It's coming up next Tuesday and Thursday. My Courage to Choose folks, it's part of their membership. So that membership is really a place for just folks that are on a similar consciousness journey, wanting to have these types of conversations. We have a live Q&A each month, as well as whatever masterclass I'm creating, and community, and all sorts of other pre-recorded content that's really foundational stuff that I sense is so important with energy fluency, nervous system dysregulation, all that. So, but if you're not in the membership, you can just get into the class, the Doubt Masterclass, and I'm doing a hot little pre-sale till the end of the 17th, so in the next little less than 48 hours, the next day and a half, if you use the code OBLITERATE, the direct link is also in my stories right now today, the 15th, but you can use the code OBLITERATE at checkout and give yourself a discount. It's typically $111 for the 2 classes, and it'll cut it down to $77. How does it get better than that? So if you're pinged, what would it take to choose you? What would it take to follow what you know? Because I'll tell you, the scarcity stuff is also going to be part of the conversation, because scarcity is that same vibrational frequency of the doubt. And I get that that will be part of it as well, because we want to be in a place where we're continuing to choose expansion, but not complete dysregulation, right? A lot of my conversations are informed by this, especially because nervous system regulation is like where I started this whole thing. And as we're seeking to expand and transform, it's like constantly pushing our edges, just our edges, right? So in a place that we still feel safe and regulated, not total dysregulation. That's not what we want. So you already know. You know if the class is for you. Whenever people ask me, hey, is this offer for me? Tell me more about it. And I'm like, what do you know? What are you aware of? What's the energy of it for you? Does it go expansive, or is it kind of contract and thud? That's your answer. Like, what if you didn't need to know all the details? Because a lot of these like live calls, they're organically created in the moment. It's like I have an idea of what the topics and what we're going to talk about, and like kind of what comes out is, so it's like I couldn't even tell you exactly. I can give you the vibe of it, and could you trust that? Because that is how you'll make decisions in your business. You won't know the how. You won't know all the details. You will have to choose based on energy, because that will never lead you astray. And that is expansive. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to DM me, but I'm really excited about this because it's changed my life, because I was like the serial I don't know person, and seriously always seeking reassurance outside of myself. That's another key that you'll know when you're doing doubt, if you're seeking reassurance from others. Is this okay? Is this okay? So if that's you, and if you're pinged, I'd love to have you in. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.